They say I lack direction and insight. And to that I say, come back here and say that. What, you're over there? Come back and say that. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Get out of here.
Jemma Bayley reviews everything ever.
No, I it's not that I lack direction. Oh, I forgot about these floofy sleeves. Oh. Guys, the fringe is back. But it's back to it's close to back to where it was. I'm relieved. You're relieved. Society's relieved. Me with micro bangs, that was a time. I was really close to becoming a lesbian. I'm always a little bit really close to becoming a lesbian, only because, like, men bother me. Actually, recently they haven't been. I mean, like, they have. I mean, they absolutely have, because men are but one particular man is not bothering me. So that's pretty fun. I know. Oh my God. Yeah, we'll see. They're also disappointing, but for now it's fun. I just need to let people in. Every time they get in, they fuck shit up. You know, like, okay, here's what it's like to date dudes. Like, you let them in the house and you're like, just, hey, welcome. What's mine is yours. Like, just whatever. And they're like, they act really nice the first couple of months, and they're like, oh, yep. And they're just treading nicely around the house. And then, you know, about at the 3-month mark, they start stealing shit. And you're like, I was really nice to you. You're stealing shit. And then while they look you in the eye, while they're stealing shit, and they go, no, I'm not. And you're like, that's my TV. And they're like, well, technically I watched it more than you, so it's my TV now. And you're like, that is weird logic. So then they just create logic to govern your relationship around. And you're like, I just feel. And what's crazy is you buy into their logic, and you're like, well, I guess you do watch it more, so I guess it's yours. And then after it's all ended, your house is empty. And you're like, wait a minute. And that's when the logic falls apart. You're like, he actually did steal all my shit. I had stuff, and now it's ended. Now it's all gone. And then you're like, okay, all right. So that's when you break up and you see a girl reclaiming herself back. That's when you see the glow up. She's gathering all her shit back into her house. She's getting everything sorted for the next dude she fucking dates. Come and steal her shit. Okay, I sound a bit jaded, but ideally, and this is what I've heard from friends in healthy relationships. Like, they exist. They do exist. Sometimes when you invite a dude into your house and he hasn't stolen stuff for the first 3 months, he does this thing where he starts bringing things in and adding to the house and making it a home. That doesn't sound right. That sounds make-believe. Anyway, yeah, so can you understand why the walls are up so high? Can you understand why the walls are up so high? Because at the end of the day, like, honestly, if I never dated again, at least I have all the shit in my house. I think that's how a lot of women feel about the whole loneliness epidemic. They're kind of like, look, as much as, like, why risk an intruder? That's what men are. Actually, that's how I view men. I view them as intruders on my life. I don't think that's a good thing, and it stops me from opening up to so many things. Oh, man. I will say this. I don't want my past intruders, like my past experience intruders, to affect the possibility of having, like, what's the opposite of an intruder? A guest? Well, not even a guest. Someone to live with and build a life with. I don't want that to. Ideally, the guy who becomes the person who lives in the house and builds a life with and actually contributes, he will ward off intruders as well, which I'm kind of done with warding off men. If a dude could come in and just deal with all my DMs, that would be great, because I don't go in there. They just keep piling up, and I'm terrified, because the last time I looked in there, it was not good. Guys, it was not good. So if you're in there, just know you're never getting out of there. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I don't want to look. I'm scared. My emails, however, I do filter them through my mate, because, like, I got porn once, and I was like, no, I can't even when I'm asking specifically for reviews, I can't get what I want. Can I? Anyway, that's the rant for the top of the video. How are you? How are you going? God, what a long intro. If that's the intro, what a long intro. Anyway, hello and welcome to Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. It's me, Jemma Bayley. I'm here reviewing everything ever. I missed you. Welcome back. How's it been? Good. Blew up a little bit on, got a few new followers on Instagram, if that's you. Hello. Nah, let's not address it. I don't care. I don't care actually that much. So we're going to start with the speed review. We always start with the speed review. And by always, I mean the last couple of videos I've started with the speed review and I like it. So we're going to speed review retirement. The thing I'll never have. Well, I don't think many of us will have it. From like stats and shit on like longevity, apparently retiring is actually quite bad for you. When you slow down, you stop working, that's when start your decline into death. So maybe not working yourself to the bone, but having a thing to do, like having work in your life, whether it be a victory garden or like whatever, having a purpose and work is very important. And when I think about it that way, retirement is just not doing a thing, which I can't imagine. But I don't want to imagine. I do things all the time. I'm never not doing a thing. When I'm not doing a thing, you know what I do? I come in here and I talk to you. And that's another thing. And then once I've talked to you, I'm like, now I have to edit that. So that's another thing. So retirement. Retirement is getting a 2. Like I get that I think the whole concept of retirement is that then you go and spend the money and you can spend the money when you're here, when you're in working as well. You know what I don't understand? Hold on. Okay, so retirement is 2, but let me go over here, all right? Let me go over here for a second. I don't understand the concept of taking breaks. I understand that downtime's very important, but taking like holidays and stuff, I don't really understand because like consistency in my life has always caused me to be more energized. For instance, like when I have a weekend, you know how people sleep in? I don't sleep in. I think it really ruins my circadian rhythm. So I wake up 6 o'clock every single day and that works for me. And on the weekends, I still wake up at 6 o'clock. You know, like I wake up, I have a coffee and I'll watch like Gilmore Girls or something, or I'll read. I don't read. I'll read. I want to read in the morning so bad. I want to write in the morning so bad, if I'm honest. Okay. Let's talk about shoulda, woulda, coulda, huh? But my point is, when I'm not doing anything, I don't think I relax. I don't think that I actually meditation. I feel the relax when I'm sitting on the couch and eating food. I don't feel relaxed doing that. I feel like medium state of like, I'm just sitting here. But when I feel to feel relaxed, even if I'm on a beach drinking a cocktail, I don't feel relaxed. I feel like I'm sitting on a beach. Does that make any sense? I feel like I'm doing the thing. So unless I'm asleep, I don't feel relaxed per se, or in meditation, or I'm getting a massage. You know, like things where you are subdued into a state of relaxation. That's when I feel But other than that, I don't feel. Is that normal? Oh no! What have I just found out that I'm just like a workaholic? That I have like a fried nervous system. I might have a fried nervous system. I might have a fried nervous system. I might. It might be over easy. It might be deep fried. I think at this point my nervous system is deep fried because I actually can't not do a thing. When I'm sitting there not doing a thing, when I was doom scrolling, that was the most not relaxing leisure time I've had because it feels like you're actively being like pinged. Like I felt like my whole body was being pinged all the time with different stuff. So even when I've stopped doom scrolling, I'm like, I just feel unsettled. I'm sitting down, I'm lying down and I'm scrolling, but I feel unsettled. This is why no phone, no more phone. Get it out of here. Anyway, that's how I feel about relaxing and holidays. I get bored. Actually, the last time I went somewhere for like a week to chill out, it was for like gigging. But during the day when I wasn't doing anything, I was just kind of like, I guess I'll relax. But I just felt like, it's not that it felt like a waste of time. It just felt like I was trying to relax and that kind of defeats the purpose. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a bougie girl. In order to relax, I need a spa day. Oh, that sounds nice. Actually, the most relaxed when you're getting your hair done and they're doing that little massage to your scalp. Oh my God. I don't get mine. We are reviewing The Apple Doesn't Fall Far from the Tree. I have not heard this much in my life, I'm not much like either of my parents. I'm probably closer to my dad in that we both argue a lot. Like we're very like we're very stubborn people. And then when we get together, we're stubborn together, which sounds like yelling, but we are actually just loudly agreeing with each other. So when I have never heard apple falls far from the tree. I've only ever heard it in movies. And the connotation is that, hey, your kid behaves like you because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as in your kid, it takes on your manner. Like it takes on your essence. And I think fall far from the tree is just kind of like a distance thing. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree is actually just like a straight up thing to say as well. Like you could just say that. I'm trying to think of a context in which someone would just say, well, yeah, if someone goes, oh my God, there's an apple here. And then you look over and there's a tree and someone turns to you and goes, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's the only time that someone would actually just say that to you. Or you turn to them and you go, why do apples always because you're a fucking idiot, apparently. Why do apples seem to be always around the base of apple trees? I don't understand. And then your mate, who's equally as dumb, but not as dumb as you and tries to educate. Well, you see, the apple, it doesn't fall far from the tree because it was once up there. That's the longer version. You know how phrases get cut down? The longer version of the phrases. Well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, you idiot. They've just cut out idiot at the end. Well, you see, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, you complete and utter idiot. What am I talking about? That phrase, overused phrase. I wonder if Sir Issac Newton has anything to say about this saying. He's dead. He has nothing to say. He had one, but the whole thing was that he discovered gravity. And the idea from sitting under an apple tree. And if anyone had ever told him the simple fact that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, maybe we wouldn't have gravity right now. If he had been warned with this, so we know for a fact that this phrase did not exist before Sir Issac Newton, because if he had known about apples falling close to apple trees, he wouldn't be sitting there. He wouldn't have invited that. He's a smart man. He would have invited that type of danger into his life, and then we wouldn't have had gravity. So maybe when you're asking me, Jemma, why do we review phrases? They're not that important. You think about that. Do you like gravity? Isn't it nice that your drink stays in your glass? You're welcome. God, question whether me reviewing phrases is important. This is why it's important. Your day-to-day life could have been ruined by a simple mismatch of phrases existing before people. God forbid. Imagine if butterflies and bees didn't exist before Muhammad Ali. How would he have floated? How would he have stung? You think about that? Oh, this is fucking dumb. Okay, all right. So let's review the phrase. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's an idiom. Oh, it's always an idiom. Means a child closely resembles one or both of their parents in behavior, personality, or appearance. It suggests that traits, whether good or bad, are inherited or learned from one's family. It's always, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's usually in a negative context. You know, like if you spit, if you spit, your mum definitely didn't swallow. No, your mum definitely didn't. Or did? Didn't. Well, she didn't do either, did she? She took it like a red-hearted American woman. I don't know where you're watching from. First of all, if you're American, can you comment something? Not something American. I don't want it to get political. Can you calm down? No, just comment something like, whatever's American. If you're Canadian, can you also do that? And if you're English, can you do that? And if you're something else, can you just be like, I'm something else and put your flag or whatever you are? Because what's happened with the pod? Okay, so on my podcast, like analytics, it's not very Australian, and that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know how. I mean, I know how I'm getting to you through the magic of the internet, but it's just like I do struggle to understand what everyone's getting out of this. Apart from that, you know, like it can't be just that, right? It's the humor. Yes, tell me. This is my version of you talking dirty to me. Just tell me I'm funny. Tell me I'm funny. Tell me that, like, when you laugh, a little bit of pee comes out. They've given us some examples. She has a beautiful singing voice, just like her mother. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. No one's ever said that before in their life. That's not a real thing. Negative. He is always getting into trouble at school, just like his father did. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That is a thing that's been said many, 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 many times. Ooh, you can explore the origins. Ooh. Where in the Bible? The apple does not fall far from the tree, read John. Why is it in the Bible? Word to live by. So Jesus said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing. That sounds like a limiting belief, Jesus. And I don't need that in my life. Everyone's like, let Jesus in. I'm like, no, he's so, like, negative. He's always talking about, like, he's flipping tables and getting mad. No, that guy, he's toxic. Eat my body. Drink my blood. Don't let that guy in. He'll steal all your shit. Jesus would take all your stuff and then tell you that you don't need the stuff and to reflect on your thoughts about capitalism. That's what Jesus would do. If Jesus was a dude now, he'd be walking into places and preaching about capitalism. I feel like. Although I have known a few men to ask me to worship them, and I'm like, only while I'm wearing this collar. And then only while it's fun. And then once it stopped being fun, you're just a dude. That's a deep cut. That is a deep cut from my BDSM kinky past. Well, okay, so apple doesn't fall far from the tree. As a saying, solid saying, we love a visual. This is a scene. This is a full scene. I can see the apple falling from the tree and then some kid pointing at it going, why is the apple there? And this guy going, you idiot, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But what would be interesting, is if that apple was from a different apple tree and it just so coincidentally like moved close to this apple tree, and then someone just looked from the outside. It looks like the apple didn't fall far from the tree, but really the apple has made a massive journey from its own apple tree to another apple tree. What does that mean? That's my saying. It means some things look like you're related, but you're not. When two things look like they're related, but they're completely not. That's that saying. Kind of like if you walk into a barber shop. If you walk into a barber shop and there's a barber in there and you go up to him and you go, hey, can I have a haircut? And he goes, I actually don't work here. That's my apple falls very far from the tree and lands near another tree analogy. Hey, this is what you would say in that. He goes, I don't actually work here. And you go, wow, this is a real apple falls really far from the tree and lands near another apple tree scenario. You can go out into the world and use that now. Ah, Jemma, always inventing her own sayings. They're so applicable and useful. Oh, God. Okay. What do we give that saying? It was a solid saying. I like it. It's used in heaps of movies. Kind of boring, though. I'm going to give it the middle of the road. We're giving it a 3. It's a 3. Oh, okay, let's do a wiki random. Fine. I posted that thing on Instagram. I posted that clip up where I was just getting mad about wiki random. And I gave you exactly what it gave me nothing. It gave me nothing. It gave me stupid. It gave me a broadcasting thing and a fish. And I was like, I know we'll never do that again unless you say so. And then everyone in the comments was like, well, do it again. It was my favorite bit. And I'm like, you are lying to me. But we must listen. We must listen to the audience. So we're wiki randoming again. I swear to God, guys. I swear to God. I was told by Joe that what I can do to wiki random, the correct way to wiki random apparently, so just keep clicking until you find something interesting. I, however, do not believe that if we're going wiki random, we're going wiki random. Unless it's something I can't read, we're doing it, okay? So we've landed on Boragu. Now, Boragu is a region and former country split between North and West in Nigeria and the Northern Republic of Benin. It is it was a partition between Great Britain and France. What? France and Great Britain, they get their dirty little mitts into everything. The people of Boragu are known as Bariba or Borawara. According to Chris, you know you're not here for pronunciation, right? Okay, good, because this is just where we're at. According to Chrisra legend known all over Boragu, the petty kingdoms of the country were founded by Carissa, a hero who, according to an oral tradition, immigrated from Biridan, Kirasha, the town of Kirasha. Before his arrival, Boragu was politically unorganized. Okay. Local societies were organized by lineage and village, rarely fought against one another. That sounds like it was doing all right. Okay. It's interesting. So first of all, they're saying before he arrived it was unorganized. They rarely fought. That sounds organized. That sounds great. What do they mean? It's like he turned up and he established cliques, in a school. He was like, you can't sit together. While historically of the Kriesha legend is unclear, it likely commemorates an invasion and occupation of Baroque. I told you these was a bad. It sounded peaceful. It sounds like a peaceful time, and then this guy just turned up by a horse-mounted warriors, 15th century. I'm just looking at all the overlapping territories here. Oh wait, does it still exist? What's going on here? I'm just asking if it still exists today, or does Boragu still exist? Yes, the Boragu can still exist today as a traditional state and a cultural religion, spanning northwestern Benin and west central Nigeria. What's a traditional state? Location: the religion is primarily split between the Boragu local government area in can't say that. I'm assuming that says Niger. Because the next word is Nigeria. And there's not two G's, so I'm just going to say Niger. In Nigeria headquarters, and you dodged a bullet there, Jemma. I would love to see my look on my face when I was like, okay, so it's the location is a region and it's split. Okay, interesting. Home to over 300,000 people. That's not a lot of people. The religion remains a vital agricultural hub, producing rice, cassava, and sorghum. All right, so they're doing pretty well. Well done. You know what? Through doing this podcast, I might actually learn shit. And the headdresses. Look at that. You can't look at that, sorry. Well, now I have to rate it. Okay, it's pretty small. Didn't know about it. It sounds like it's not even an actual, it's like a region, but it's not like a country. It's like it's a place. It was a place. And honestly, the origin story, even if it's not true, it's such a depressing story. It's like, hey, no one was fighting and it was disorganized. And this guy came in and he organized everything real hard. He really made it organized. And by organized, we mean we knew who to fight now. I don't know. Okay, well okay, each to their own. But I didn't even know about it. Boragu, you're middle of the road. Nah, let's not be safe. You're a 2. I don't care. I don't care. And it sounds like you were having a good time until that dude turned up. And I don't think he doesn't sound like a good dude. I'm gonna say that. Bringing fighting. That's a bad guy. Oh my god, I would like to review the Golden Spurtle. Can I talk to you about porridge for a second? Can I talk to you about porridge for a second? Okay, so I'm reviewing a documentary. It's called The Golden Spurtle. What is a spurtle? I also had that question. It's a wooden spoon without the spoon bit. It's just like a wooden rod, and you use it to mix porridge. Okay, so the Golden Spurtle is the world championship of porridge making. And this documentarian's just found this thing and be like, I'm gonna go there. It's in Scotland. We go there. I'm gonna just record a bunch of people doing this competition that happens every single year. It is the most fascinating Okay, this is my like straight up review. Okay, in an era where sex sells, violence sells, and like hyper action, taboo subjects, that all sells so hard to maintain people's attention with porridge. That is impressive. That is impressive. So I'm not saying that it's like, I'm not saying go watch it. It's the most crazy thing ever. It's not. It's just it's as heartwarming as the porridge itself. It's just, you start watching it and you're like, all right, okay. And then halfway through you're like, what? Who are these people? The characters in it, they're like, they seem like they're written, but they're not. They're people. And because they're people, and this is probably me getting all excited about like the fact that it's not fantasy, that this is their lives, and like they exist like this. And there's at one point this lady is like teaching you how to make porridge, and she's like stirring it with her spurtle, and she's saying facts. She's saying like, and you want to keep stirring it while like the water's evaporating out of it. You don't want it to be too watery, you don't want it to be too coagulated. And then she goes, and you have to stir it clockwise so the devil doesn't come in. No, so the devil doesn't come in. And I was like, but she says it like matter of factly, like, so the devil doesn't come in. And then like in the next cut, there's a guy stirring, and he goes, oh, and apparently you've got to stir it clockwise so the devil doesn't get in. And he goes, I stir it clockwise just in case. Which is like, well, if you knew, not that it's true, but just in case, you would, wouldn't you? It was a fun documentary to watch. It was recommended to me by a friend at my work, and I'm glad she did. I actually watched it on a rainy afternoon, and it really added to like the feeling of the film in general. Yeah, so if you want to watch a documentary about porridge and you like people, then watch that. To me it gets a 4. It's a good documentary. It's not crazy fantastic, but it's good. But keep in mind that one's just about porridge. So it's gonna be a pretty damn good documentary. Honestly, porridge, well done. Well done to the Golden Spurtle team. Shit. Anyway, that's all I have to say to you. Be on your way.